As the U.S. presidential race tightens, the candidates emerged on Thursday with two very different messages.
We're over here. We're over here. I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working. The count is being completed. We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners.
Due to the coronavirus pandemic, more than 60 million Americans cast their ballots via the post this year. And that's left officials in 5 key states still counting the votes.
We are concerned with making sure that we're accurate in what we report, because this is a very important election in the state of Nevada. It may make the decision for the president.
But President Donald Trump is once again casting doubt on the process.
If you count the legal votes, I easily win. If you count the illegal votes, they can try to steal the election from us.
This is the detention center where Kosovo's former president spent the night. Hashim Thaçi is facing charges for war crimes committed during Kosovo's war for independence in the late 1990s. Thaçi resigned Thursday to face justice. Thaçi was the commander of the Kosovo Liberation Army, or KLA, that fought the Serbian army and police during the war. Prosecutors in July said they hold Thaçi and 3 other KLA commanders responsible for nearly 100 murders of civilians. All 4 will appear in court for the first time in coming days. The resigning president, who was in power for 10 years, denies committing any crimes. He's supported by most people in Kosovo, who believe he was just defending the majority ethnic Albanian population against the Serbian oppressor.
Reports coming out of Kremlin suggest that Vladimir Putin's 20-year-old reign could be coming to an end. The Russian president is planning to quit in January next year amid speculations that he has Parkinson's disease. As per media reports, 68-year-old Putin is being urged by family to retire amid health concerns. Putin's 37-year-old girlfriend and his 2 daughters are pushing him to leave office, according to a report in New York Post, quoted Moscow political scientist Valery Kosolovay. The political scientist claimed that Putin may be suffering from Parkinson's, as president has been seen recently exhibiting symptoms of the disease. Solovay said that Putin would soon appoint a new prime minister who would be groomed to become his eventual successor. As per the New York Post, the president's staff, meanwhile, has played down the rumors on Putin's plan to step down. The speculation has come amid Russian lawmakers considering legislation proposed that would grant ex-presidents lifetime immunity from criminal prosecution.
Bao Choi is facing charges for her role in a TV documentary series investigating police misconduct during last year's anti-government protests. Police accuse her of making false statements to access personal information while carrying out research. Media unions have condemned the government's action. The investigative report examined accusations of a delayed response by officers to an attack by a group on protesters at a train station in July last year. Police were accused of colluding with the gang. Choi used a government database to trace and identify the owners of the cars that the attackers travelled in. Police say that information was obtained illegally. Media union groups say Bao Choi was just doing her job.
Sweden's Prime Minister has gone into protective self-isolation after a person close to him came in contact with someone who had tested positive for COVID-19. Stefan Löfven broke the news on social media as the Scandinavian country passed the threshold of 6,000 coronavirus-related deaths. In the spring, as other European nations imposed lockdowns, Sweden drew worldwide attention by keeping schools, shops and restaurants open and not requiring people to wear masks. But as daily new infections have risen sharply in recent weeks, new recommendations have been issued.
The most diverse cabinet in New Zealand's history was sworn in on Friday. It includes the first female foreign minister, Nania Mahuta, who also happens to be Maori and has a facial tattoo. She sang as she entered the ceremony and chose to recite her oath in her indigenous language. Of the 20-strong body, 8 are women, 5 are Maori and 3 are LGBT. Finance Minister Grant Robinson takes up the post of Deputy Prime Minister, the first openly gay man to hold the position.
Eighth round of top military-level talks between India and China are currently underway to de-escalate border tensions along the line of actual control. Amid this, India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, has warned that India will not accept shifting the line of actual control. Listen in to what he said.
The situation along the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh remains tense, and the PLA is facing unanticipated consequences of its misadventure in Ladakh because of the Indian Defence Forces' firm and strong response. Our posturing is unambiguous. We will not accept any shifting of the line of actual control.
Central America has been hit by one of the worst storms on record, Hurricane Eta. The storm wreaked havoc across the region, starting from Panama to Guatemala. The storm unleashed unprecedented tropical rains and catastrophic flooding. Parts of Honduras are still underwater, and many streets have been turned into waist-high water channels. The visuals on your screens right now are from the rural area of Pimienta. 2 children, an 8-year-old and a toddler of all but 11 months, died after a mudslide swept their homes away. Houses have been inundated and residents cut off from the mainland. Honduran President Juan Hernandez has ordered the army to mobilize helicopters and boats to evacuate people from flooded areas. Local rescue groups also transported water and essential supplies to people trapped by floodwaters.
This is the Oiapoque region. It's Brazil's northernmost spot, a sparsely populated and remote area of the Amazon bordering the French territory of Guyana. It's actually France's longest international border, 730 kilometers long. The armed forces have been conducting crime-fighting operations in the region over the last few weeks, Operação Ágata, to take on criminal activities in the border area, such as illegal mining and logging, as well as drugs and weapons trafficking. Despite being billed as an inter-agency operation, most of the job was done by the 4,400 military personnel involved, with a limited participation by federal and state law enforcement agencies tasked with the country's environmental protection.
As many as 20 Australian wine companies have been told not to send their product to China as confusion grows over claims of trade bans. Nothing official has come from Beijing, but exporters are feeling the pinch, and it's the government telling China to provide the answers.
At an expo for exporters, China's president tries to reel them in. To turn the China market into a market accessible by all, he says. But state-owned media says 7 Australian goods, including wine and lobster, have been shut out.
The dragon has bared its teeth.
There have been delays, but the Australian government says no formal ban, just confusion.
We need swift action to address uncertainty.
That uncertainty means 20 wine companies have been told to shelve their exports.
The uncertainty has already meant that the trade has changed.
Lobster exporters have also hit pause, and work on the water has dried up.